This video took a lot longer than I expected it to, so if there's a specific part that you're wanting to see but don't want to sit through the entire 30-minute video, please go to the description. I will put timestamps. I promise you will not have to sit through this entire thing. Thank you. So, how about that Q&A that I was supposed to post back in February? Happy August, everybody!
Hello everybody, and welcome to the second Q&A on this channel. I want to apologize, firstly, for how long this took. It was a lot of recording and re-recording and having to step away from it for a bit because of how much I would ramble, and I feel bad about rambling, so it was a lot of re-recording and re-recording, which was not fun, but here we are. And I'm doing it now, 6 months later. Secondly, I would like to apologize for the lack of videos on the channel. I promise you there will be something soon. Don't worry, it will be up soon. And thirdly, this Q&A is going to be slightly different than the other one was. I will be answering all of the questions as me, not as my OCs. And if any of the character questions come up, I will have the characters answer them through text boxes on Gacha Clubs, so I hope that that's alright with everyone, and with that, let's get started. Our first group of questions is from Fire Thunder 123, and they are: for Kai, what will you do once you hit 1k subs? For Justice, how do you feel being the leader of your team? And for All, how did you feel when you became a magical girl? Well, those are some interesting questions, Fire Thunder, and let's start out with your first question of what would I do when I hit 1k subs? At the moment I would consider that more of an if than a when, but if I were to hit 1k subs, I would be able to talk to you guys on that community post thingy, which that would be cool. I would appreciate that. It would make things a lot easier. I'd probably do some sort of big project thing, because I'd want to celebrate it somehow, but really I'm not in it fully for the subs. I just wanted to have fun and share my stuff with anybody who was interested. The subs are great, don't get me wrong. All 222 of you, last I checked, were really awesome. I really appreciate you for subscribing, you guys are great. But I never really entered YouTube with the intention of gaining as many subs as possible, just to share my work with the world, and I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now, you know? I like what I've been doing, and I appreciate how, you know, the speed at which I'm getting views and subscribers, and I feel like I'm pretty right where I want to be at the moment, and if I hit 1k, then that's great. That'd be fantastic. I'd really appreciate that. And it would just mean that I was doing something that people enjoyed. And your second question, you wanted to ask Justice what it was like to be the leader of her team. Well, let's see what she had to say about that. Your third question was, to all the magical girls, how did they feel about becoming a magical girl? And because I have over 20-something odd OCs that are magical girls, with the Kindness Faction girls, the Betrayal Company, the Higher Cures in the Kindness Faction, and the Crystal Force girls, I'm just gonna say most of them, especially most of the Crystal Force girls, really didn't care, because they were, I guess, in a way born to be magical girls, and to them, being a magical girl was just a normal thing, so they didn't really care. The only thing with them is that, you know, obviously, if you know anything about Crystal Force, if you don't, well, here's some, I guess, little lore for it. If you know anything about Crystal Force, then you'll know that they're being hunted down by the villains for being magical girls. So I guess there's that. To them, being a magical girl is just a normal thing, but also kind of an annoyance. The Kindness Faction girls, most of them don't really have an opinion. Emphasis on most of them. But that'll be revealed in due time. And obviously the higher tiers are just naturally magical girls, so like creation, destruction, and balance. They've always been magical girls and always will be, so they don't really care either. And the Betrayal Company, most of them don't care either, but that's for reasons that'll be revealed in time as well. So I hope I answered your questions without rambling too much. And let's get on to the second question.
Our next question is from Blackwater, and they put 5, so let's get started. Question 1, do you like voice acting? Question 2, when did you start gacha? Question 3, do you think you're happy doing a voice acted movie? Question 4, do you like singing? And question 5, what Vocaloid song do you like?
To answer your first question, do I like voice acting? Yes, I love voice acting. I've always enjoyed doing voice acting. I was actually in a drama enrichment club in elementary school, so I guess I've been voice acting for a really long time is what I'm trying to say with that. For fun mostly. Obviously I wasn't doing anything professional in that club, I was just, little school plays. I've always been in school plays because I wanted to be, and that was pretty cool. Do I like voice acting now? I'd say yeah, I enjoy voice acting. It's pretty fun to be able to put yourself into the mindset of another character, like another person for a little bit. I find it pretty fun, very enjoyable to voice act. And I've been doing it for a really long time, so there's that. Your second question was, when did I start gacha? I'd say technically it was like 2018 when one of my friends showed it to me, and I was like, oh, this looks cute. I'm gonna start, designing characters for the books I've been writing. And so I did, but obviously it was just for fun, so I didn't really take myself too seriously or pay attention too much to like the hair, how the hair matched, how the outfits looked. I just kind of threw together everything. Back in my phase where I did not like to use the eyebrows because they go over the hair most of the time. You'll remember from the very early days of my channel, if you've been here that long, that I did not use eyebrows. The very first Kindness Faction designs actually do not have eyebrows because I hated them so much. And then I just kind of forgot about it for a while, or just didn't really use it as much as I used to. I'd make a character here and there, but never really anything for too serious. And then Gacha Club came out. I remember hearing announcements about that and watching people get super pumped about that, and I was like, oh, this seems cool, I might want to give it a try because there were so many new things. My main problem with Gacha Life was I kept running out of slots for storage. I used up all of my slots after a while. And then I heard Gacha Club had more, so I was like really excited. And then, yeah, I'd say Gacha Club got me back into making characters back in August 2020, whenever it came out for iOS. Actually, shoot, it might have been around September, I can't remember. But my very first character I made in Gacha Club was... I still have her. She's a very basic character named Heather. I don't know why, but she's one of my very first characters I ever made in Gacha Club, and she's a very basic character. You might see her in the background of Kindness Faction at some point. I'll put up a picture if I can remember. And then after Heather, it was Kai and her friends. And here we are. Question 3. Do I think I'm happy making a voice-acted movie? I'm gonna try to answer these questions a little more quickly because I feel like I'm rambling. and I feel like this video is going to be like an hour long if I don't pick up the pace. So, to answer your question, yes, I do think I'm happy because I've made some incredible friends along the way, and honestly, I love making Kindness Faction. I love planning Crystal Force. And if you would have gone to younger me 4 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe even 2 years ago, and said, hey, in the future you're going to make your own little series, I probably wouldn't have believed you. So I'd say yes, I'm very happy making this series. It's a lot of work, but I'd say it's worth it. Question 4. Do I like singing? Yes and no. I do like singing, but I don't like listening to myself sing. So I guess kind of. It's more, I don't like listening to myself sing, and I don't like the after I sing. I guess I feel like I get nervous and stuff. So yeah, to answer that, yes and no. A little bit of both, really. Question 5. What are my favorite Vocaloid songs? Definitely the Avilius Chronicles, like Daughter of Evil, Servant of Evil, Regret Message. I really like Rebirthday, even though I know it's technically not canon to this series thing, but come on, it's such a good song, it's so cute. I won't spoil it for you, but it made me cry at the end, that's all I'm gonna say. Bring It On by Giga P. It's definitely a very electronic type song, so if that's not your speed, you probably wouldn't like it. I like it because it gets me all excited to do editing. Luca Luca, Night Fever. It's another one of my favorites. Alice Human Sacrifice, but it's definitely one of the darker songs of Vocaloid. So if you're not into dark stuff, don't watch it. I don't know, other than that, really? Sweet Magic is another good one. I don't know who made that one. Rin, Kagamine Rin sings it, I know that much. It's a cute little song. Butterfly on Your Right Shoulder, another good song. I could really list songs that I enjoy all day, but my main are definitely the Avilius Chronicles, Bring It On, and I'd say Sweet Magic. So I guess as you can tell, I really like the twins. And Childish War. Childish War is another one of my favorites. So yes, I really like the Kagamine twins, Rin and Len. Alright, on to my next set of questions.
Our next set of questions is from Quitt with 2 T's. And they are, to Kagami, do you have a new VA or am I still voicing you? To Akiko, you want candy? To Aiko, how is the group?
Our next set of questions is from Sakura The Kawaii. Hello, Sakura. Very happy to see you again. I miss you. And these questions are, question 1, for me. Since I'm not on Discord anymore, am I still Akiko's VA or have I been replaced? Second question, for Aiko. Why are you so cute? Third question, for me again. What is something you want to improve on? To answer your first question, unfortunately, since I have no other way to get you your lines, yes, I did have to get your backup to fill in for you. Like I said, it's nothing personal. It's just because I have no way to get you your lines, and it's unfortunate. But I do want to thank you for the work you did while you were here. It was incredible, and I definitely miss having you on the team. And now for your second question, to Aiko. And thirdly, what is something I'd like to improve on? Well, I guess I'd really like to improve on my transformations. Mainly just because I feel like I know more now than I did when I first made them, so I feel like I can make them a lot better now. But I'm not sure. Other than that, I feel like I'm always improving, and I feel like everyone is as an editor. You're always improving something, learning a new technique for something, or figuring out something you didn't know before. So yeah, I guess that. Our next set of questions is from PiecesMendedYT. Hi Pieces! And her questions are, question 1. What inspired you to make Crystal Force and Kindness Faction Reborn? Question 2. To Sakura, do you have a favorite animal? And question 3. And who's the hardest character for you to write for? So I get a very big feeling that the first question is going to take me a really long time to answer, but I'm going to do my best to summarize it because this video is already almost 20 minutes long, and I still have one last set of questions to go through. So, what inspired me to make Kindness Faction and Crystal Force? Crystal Force I feel like is going to be the easier of the two to, I guess, pinpoint what inspired me. The first thing was definitely Heart Regiment, which is a series by Cure Unicorn. If you're unfamiliar with it, check it out, although it's a darker Magical Girls series, so do be warned. Except it doesn't really exist yet, it's like a movie thing, I don't know. And something else that inspired me to make Crystal Force was probably Sailor Moon Crystal. Yeah, I know, a lot of people don't like Sailor Moon Crystal, but I like it. And then Kindness Faction, what inspired me to make Kindness Faction Reborn? Sailor Moon, like the 90s anime, and the concept of how they died and got reborn at the beginning of the series. Spoilers, by the way, for Sailor Moon, I guess. And also I just wanted to see how many typical Pretty Cure tropes I could break, which was quite a few, you know, don't have a pink cure as a leader, I guess made it a bit of a darker series. Instead of having pixie fairy helpers, they're angels, for lack of a better word. And I guess that's pretty much about it. Now on to question 2. And your last question, which is personally one of my favorites, who is the hardest character for me to write for? Well, this is also a bit of a hard question to answer because really every character I've made is hard to write for in their own right. First, you got the main characters who are just hard to write for because they're the main characters. So I guess since we're spending most of the time we have with them, I wanted to make them as likable as possible. But outside of the main characters, first you got this crew, which is hard to write for because I feel like I gave them way too much story. It is difficult to write for them because I don't want to spoil too much too soon, but I don't want to keep their story locked up in a vault either. I want people to be able to guess clues, but at the same time, I don't want people to be able to guess too soon, and I don't want to ruin the surprise. But then you got this crew, which is a lot harder because I have to come up with a story really for them. Most of them are secondaries, or I guess the best way to put for the villain too that are in this group is the joke villains, because I don't know, they're like early on villains. It's hard to come up with a story for them because I don't want to make them too complex, but at the same time, I don't want them to be too, you know, simple. So, I guess, like I said, all of my characters are pretty difficult to write for, but specifically these groups. And last but certainly not least, we have a group of 5 questions from Hibiki Chan. Question 1, what made you want to start YouTube? Question 2, who's your favorite gotcha tuber? Question 3, what's Justice's biggest pet peeve? Question 4, what's your favorite anime/show? And question 5, to Kagami, what's your favorite book? So I'm gonna try to answer all 5 of these quickly because, like I said, I really don't want this video to be over 20 minutes if it can be helped, because that's the longest video I've ever made, and I don't want to make you guys sit through that, so I'm very sorry. So, question 1 was, what made me want to start YouTube? Well, it's actually kind of a funny story. So, I was actually inspired to start YouTube because I wanted to get a channel at first just to leave a comment on this post, by Cure Unicorn. I'll put a picture of it up. I literally originally just wanted to make a channel just to comment some names, which at first I was really scared of doing because I don't know, I overthink pretty much everything. It's something I do like all the time. So I remember I was on the phone with a friend at the time and I was like, I don't know what to do. I really want to leave a comment for names for these characters because I've been watching her for like a year now, and I was like, I want to make names for these characters, but I'm scared. And so my friend was like, dude, you just gotta do it. And I was like, but I don't want to. So then I waited, and then I waited, and then eventually got to the point where I was like, nope, I gotta do this at some point. So then I did it. I made Lunakai the night of September 2nd, and I remember making it, and I remember being really scared of everything and commenting, and then I left names. I do remember doing that. And then my first video I put up a day after because at the time my biggest project was the Minecraft stairs case that I started building during some sort of club, after school club meeting on Zoom because I was bored and everybody kept talking over each other and the internet was just bad. It was not a fun time. So I just started building this rainbow staircase, and I remember being like, I want to make a YouTube video, but I don't know what I want to make it of. So I was like, why don't I just post myself going up and down these random rainbow stairs that I made? So at 6 in the morning, I made this video, and then I posted it. And then I met Fire Thunder, and you know, everything else from there is history, so that's what made me want to start YouTube. Because I wanted to leave comments of names for characters that Cure Unicorn made, and it eventually just became me eventually just putting up videos because I can. Your second question was, who is my favorite gacha-tuber? Well, to be honest, I don't watch very many gacha-tubers in my spare time. The only ones that I watch, really, that I enjoy, like, I watch a couple people's videos, and don't get me wrong, everybody that I watch is really cool, but I don't watch any, like, the big guys. Like, I know one that a lot of people talk about is, I'm so sorry if I get this name wrong, it's like Rosie Closey or something like that. That's one that a bunch of people have talked about. I don't watch her, I'm sorry, please don't at me. But I guess of the gacha tubers I do watch, if I had to pick favorites, probably, unironically, it'd probably be Cure Unicorn, because, not just because she was my inspiration to start YouTube, and I'm not just saying that, of course, it's because I genuinely enjoyed her content, and I found her videos fun to watch. Also, a YouTuber that I enjoy watching, unironically, is PiecesMendedYT. And no, like I said, it's not because I'm in her series or anything. I genuinely feel like she has good editing skills, and so I think that she's got a lot of potential and a lot of, like, good editing. And I know I'm definitely not a judge for, you know, everybody, obviously. It's all just my opinion. And I like a lot of smaller gacha tubers that I follow. I follow a bit of everybody. Mainly just friends of friends. Like friends that I've made and people I've seen that I enjoy the content of. And it's because I feel like the people I follow and subscribe to put a lot of effort into their content and are proud of their work, and I can tell that because everything they post, it's just, I don't know, you can just tell when somebody puts a lot of work into something, and that's how I feel about that. Your third question is, what is Justice's biggest pet peeve? If I had to pick one for her, because at the moment her character is kind of blank, most of the Crystal Force girls' characters are, because I don't want to really work on them until I finish Kindness Faction sometime in 2070. But probably if I had to pick one for Justice, her biggest pet peeve would probably be pointless arguing, or arguing that's just is getting nowhere, getting people nowhere. She's a very logical person, doesn't really see the point in arguments unless they have a like set reason for existing. Your fourth question, what shows or animes do I like? I don't watch very many of either. From what I've seen, Sailor Moon is great. I love Sailor Moon. I'm actually watching the new dub, and I'm almost done with season 2. Steven Universe is another one of my favorites, even though it's not an anime, it's a show. And it's over now. It's been over for a year? Yeah. Obviously Pretty Cure. I haven't watched very many though. I'm in the process of watching the Futari Wa dub, which isn't bad. Shoot, I gotta think. You're making me think here. I can't really think of anything else that I like. Yeah, no, I can't really think of much else. I don't watch very many shows. And your fifth and final question is not to me, but to Kagami, asking what her favorite book is. And I'll let her answer that. Go ahead, Kagami.
And that's the end of the Q&A. Thank you so much for watching if you even made it to this point. I'm so sorry that it's nearly 30 minutes long. Normally I wouldn't upload something this big, and I'm very sorry that it took so long to get done. More stuff to look forward to in the future, so goodbye for now, and I hope to see you guys soon.